Yo YouTube, what's up man? So today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make this really cool effect here using the tracery plugin. This is not sponsored, by the way. I just think that this effect is really cool. I've seen it around for, the better part of a year really. And for the longest time, I didn't know how it was done. And then I just was scrolling on AE Scripts, found this plugin, and I was like, oh, decided to cop the plugin so y'all don't have to, Let me just drag it on here real quick. What the fuck? So I went ahead and added the effect onto this adjustment layer right here, and this effect is so awesome because it renders in real time. So you want to click on the key color right here, and then just click on any color, and it's awesome because it just updates in real time. It's processing so much information, but it's just doing it with so much ease because it's just lines, boxes, and numbers. I love plugins that have no render time. I don't want to click a knob, spin a knob, and then have to wait 10 seconds to see how it looks. So I think this shit's really dope. We have the threshold knob. Okay, so if you bring that up closer to 100, you're gonna have less going on right here, but it's also gonna be affecting the position. So let's bring that threshold down. It's kind of affecting it more up here, right? So if we have then in kind of the mids, it's gonna be in the middle right here, doing a lot. Bring it up at the start. So we can do something like that, sure. Actually, yeah, 70, let's do something like that. And now click show mask. This is really cool. Basically anything that's not white is what it's going to apply the information to. And then as well, you can use this as an overlay. So if you click render graphics on alpha, you can then export this and then use your blending modes to use it as an overlay. And then you can do detection quality. You can put it on draft, low, medium, and you're just kind of going to see how each one is a little bit better than the last one. So I kind of like it being on medium because it's a little bit less going on. I don't want it to be too just jam-packed, If you bring it all the way down to 0 for blur strength, you're gonna get more detail in there. You can almost see the details in his face right there. But then if you bring the blur strength all the way up, it's going to blur it. And then that's also obviously going to affect the information that's going through here. You can also change the color, so you can actually customize literally everything. And I love that this is actually easy as fuck. You can enable the gaps on the boxes as well, as you can see, almost like camera boxes. You could do that, which is cool. I haven't used that until now. And then now if you go to the text settings, you can also change the size of the text. You can bring it all the way down. You could also turn it off completely, which I kind of like that. Now this is what I like messing with the most. So you can enable the markers, that's those little green circles, and then you can change the types if you want it to be a plus or a cross, which is just an X. Let's go for a cross because I've done the plus before. You can then increase the size of that, which is cool. And then you can change that. Let's change that to red to kind of match the vibe of the video a lot more. So as you can see here from the beginning, this is definitely looking way doper. And then the connection line settings. So if you change the line color to red or something, that can look cool. But definitely what you want to do is decrease. You can decrease the curvature, so you can just have straight lines. I think that looks really cool. And then if you want to mess with the threshold, you can get a lot more lines in there, and I think that looks really cool. And then the gap length, so bring that all the way down as well. And then the dash length, bring that down. And you can you can either bring it up to make those lines really long, or you can bring it all the way down and you can get these really detailed kind of dashed lines. But I think that looks probably the best right there. Now for the arrow settings, you can also change how big you want these arrows to be. You can bring them all the way down. You could disable them completely. I think that looks really cool. Arrow position, arrow angle, all that shit. Filled arrows, you can't change the color, but so now that we have a cool effect here, again, you could use this as an overlay. I'll just leave it how it is right here. Now let's spice this up. Let's add on an adjustment layer. Let's add on lumetri color. And let's just make this nice and grunge. We're going to increase the contrast, bring down the shadows, up the whites maybe, bring down the saturation, and then bring down the blacks as well. So that's looking cool. And then let's go ahead and add on a vignette. CC vignette does just fine, and then increase that amount. And then also another thing you could do is you could add on posterized time and some grain. So I just added on some grain, and then if you bring the frame rate down to 8, you guys are gonna get this effect right here. Sorry, actually, I'm gonna bring the frame rate to like 16 or something like that. And you're just gonna get this very stuttery, kind of unique looking effect, maybe 12. Yeah, I think that looks really cool. Let's stick with that. Okay, so now I'm gonna show you guys how I got this effect right here. So add on an adjustment layer and then add on the invert effect. Not sapphire invert, but just regular invert, which is built in. And then change the channel. You can change it to all these different types of colors. And you can get something cool, but I like changing it to saturation, and that's just going to give you this really blown out kind of look here. And then you can obviously change the blend with original, but I'm just going to leave that at 0. And then on this layer, slap on unsharp mask on that hoe, and then that's just going to add a little bit more of that fine ugly detail. And you see, like, this is just looking super weird and blown out and shitty, which is perfect. But obviously, you know, I think I'd want to make these lines bigger. They don't look very good right now, but like, you know, that's okay, it's whatever. But yeah, man, that's about it. Free packs linked down in the description. Check out my website. I've got a ton of really cool stuff coming. And as well, I don't know if my second website is going to be up, but if that is, that might be linked down in the description. I don't know. I did just drop the VFX bundle, which is really cool. It's a preset of every effect made for every editing program. So if you guys ever support me or my website, you guys are supporting the channel so that I can do daily uploads like this. And yeah, man, I really appreciate you guys, man. Like I said, daily uploads, extremely grateful for that. Extremely grateful for everyone supporting the channel. I appreciate y'all boys, man. Peace out. Have a good day, man.